I am back. For all my Twitter fans, YouTube fans, y'all want me to be in despair and panicking and going crazy. I don't know what in the world is everybody thinking. Y'all act like Mayweather was fighting next month and the fight just got canceled. The man is going for 90 days, which means that he pleaded guilty. Well, he's pleaded no contest to something really he didn't do. So he wasn't found guilty. He wasn't. He wasn't going to get hit with the maximum charge. All he did was save time so he can have this taken care of and out of the way. Therefore, he can go ahead and make forward with this fight, so he wouldn't have this looming over his head as a scheduled fight. Now, his fight date might get pushed back. I have gotten word before this announcement even took place that Floyd Mayweather would be losing his date and Sal Alvarez will be taking the date. But see, I sat on it because I didn't know why. And I didn't have a reason why as to why he would give up the date. So everybody assumed it was because the Pacquiao fight wasn't working out and it wasn't going to get made. That this was the reason why he was moving. They were talking about moving Sal Alvarez into the date. So this was already been discussed. So I think he was kind of in the know that he was going to have to do some time of either house arrest or maybe some jail time. So I think his lawyer or his legal team were aware of it. They were already making maneuvers to try to move dates and move things around. And this was 24 hours prior that I became aware of it. So there was no real big shock or stun. It was just like, oh, okay, that's the reason why they want to do this and that. But it's funny and kind of odd to me that people like Lindsay Lohan can go in and out of court, drugs, theft, or whatever. I'm sorry to name drop you, but I mean, you did it. So you went to court many times, DUIs, drunk driving, no jail, 2 hours jail. They sentenced you for like 2 weeks. You go in there crying, you miss court dates, and it's all good. I mean, you getting caught with coke and blow everywhere in the car. Don't matter, it's all good. And let's not forget Mel Gibson, the man on tape, talking and bragging to his wife. You deserved it. You deserved every bit of it. You deserved everything. Yeah, I hit you. You deserved it. So I mean, he's on. His wife is recording like, "You hit me with my baby and with the baby in his arms. In her arms, he knocking her out, and he admitting it on the tape, on the phone, like he's proud of it. You deserved everything you got. What's his time? Where is his marriage counseling? All they told him to do was lay low. Lay low. Play with a beaver. I mean, it's so common. They show you every day that there is a different difference when it comes to the court cases of minorities and those in higher upper echelon of society. The courts are a little bit different for them. Matter of fact, I don't even think he went to court. It's just I'm gonna tell you a story that happened to me. Now here I am, a great law-abiding citizen. I get in, I get hit by a drunken driver. My car is knocked all the way up, going like 60 miles an hour. I get smacked by a drunk driver. We in Lake Forest, Illinois. That's where Vince Vaughn is from. A lot of rich people live in Lake Forest. Okay? And the guy that hit me took off from the scene after he hit me. His car was so totaled, it didn't really make it that far. My car was still drivable. I called the cops, they show up, and I got two different police that showed up. Once they found the guy's license plates, they were all gung ho on finding this guy. Once they found him and realized who the guy was, I was called to come down to the police station. He had already been released from jail. And I said, well, where is he? You got him in lockup? Oh, well, we had him. Then we let him go. But I'm like, well, what's the case? I mean, you got him for DUI, drunk, because he had to be drunk to hit me like that in broad daylight and didn't keep going. Well, it's a tricky situation. We can't really, because we found him at home, we can't really get a breathalyzer test on him. Said, how did he get home? If his car broke down right there, how did he get home? He probably had somebody come pick him up. But we had to let him go. Don't worry about that. All you had to do was call this card right here. He gave me his card with his name on it, and on the back of that card was the name Pasquazi. The Pasquazis own almost everything in Lake Forest. They got Pasquazi Plumbing, Pasquazi Farm and Garden. They have everything in Lake Forest basically under control. They pretty much extort everybody into saying, hey, you better use our services. If anybody else try to use your services, we'll deal with them. So it's a whole different society, but they pretty much run Lake County, and including the police department. I was like, okay, they told me I didn't need a lawyer and all this stuff. I'm not used to this kind of stuff. I'm black. I'm going to get me a lawyer. Something like this is gone too far. This is crazy. I go get me a lawyer. My lawyer is from Lake Forest. He know them. He don't like the Pasquazi. They charged him too much on this plumbing. So he all get ready to go for this case. And they showed him what power was. All of a sudden, he's so gung-ho, we go to court to make sure that they don't drop the case on the kid. And they didn't charge him with hit and run because I was like, well, okay, well, we didn't get him with DUI. We know we got him with hit and run. Well, we got him with leaving the scene of an accident. Leaving the scene of an accident? He caused the accident. So when you rich and got money, I want y'all to know, when you rich and got money, it's called, if you hit somebody and leave, it's called leaving the scene of an accident. If you're a minority, it's a hit and run. And those are two major different charges. So they have a different court law for those in power. So when we go to court, he's there. And he's looking for me, because if I don't show up, they're going to try to throw this case right out. I got really no chance of the lawsuit, nothing. We get the courtroom. They're looking for me to see which one it is. The cop goes to his lawyer and like, oh, that's him in the back. That's him over there. They're all working together. It's the three of them. The lawyer, the cop, and the judge. They sit there and all get together and going over what they wanted to do. They saved his case for last because he had friends and stuff that might be in the court because of Lake Forest, and he didn't want them to know what his business was. So the judge's like, okay, you'll go last. Nobody conferred with me at all. I'm sitting in the courtroom like, I don't believe this. So when the case come and I came and I stood up, then the judge called me to the thing and said, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have him plead guilty, but to a lesser charge. Don't worry, you'll still get your guilty verdict. So it won't look like the accident didn't take place. And yeah, he's acquired a lawyer. They were so pissed off that it didn't go in their way. But they end up strangling my lawyer to settle out of court because he couldn't fight him no more. It got to the point where they had pushed him in a corner where he couldn't fight. We supposed to got $100,000. We had to settle for like $25K. But hey, that's life when you're dealing with high power. Ask me how much of that $25K I saw. But just for everybody else in the world, in the know, there's two different societies. And even if you are upper echelon, like you saying, Floyd, this other guy said, Floyd Mayweather, man, he's a 100 millionaire. He's upper echelon. He gets treated differently. Athletes just don't get that kind of, you would like to think they do, but they don't. Or if you're a minority athlete because they look at it like, well, you don't really associate yourself with the upper echelon. Floyd Mayweather still hangs out with people from the hood. He still hang out with his family members who are minorities. The only one that's rich in his family is him. The rest of them are borderline like me. We middle class or what's left of it, and that's just it. So he's the breadwinner for an entire couple of generations of families. And they look at him as, okay, well, he's a boxer. You still get treated just like us.